The culture of productivity, also known as a giant self-soothing scam.
You know you are a lazy person, and there
True.
are thousands of people who want to tell you exactly how to fix that. But the truth is, you are probably just fine, and falling too far into the productivity rabbit hole will just make you lazier.
The truth is, you're probably lazy. Most people are on average just absolutely lazy. They don't know where to start, they don't know where to do, they don't know how to do things, and they just, push everything to the side until they are forced to do it. Most people are lazy.
More stressed, and poorer than when you started.
Productivity.
Productivity.
Productivity. Productivity.
Productivity.
Productivity.
Productivity.
I don't know about you, but I would take advice from the first girl.
Activity.
Productivity.
Modern life is full of an endless list of things to do. You spend a lot of time
True.
getting to a job, putting in your 8 hours a day if you are lucky, getting home again, and only then can you go shopping, clean your house, wash your clothes, pay your bills, cook, and help out your family with anything they need. Thanks to the rising cost of
Well, to be honest, if you're even not smart, but just not a drooling buffoon, you usually will go and get groceries before you come home from work. It's a little bit probably smarter and better than going to home and then going out your way to go get groceries yet again. Just saying. Probably easier for a lot of people.
living and stagnating wages, you might also want to include a side hustle or a business project in addition to everything else.
Oh, boy.
And at some point, have some time to relax with friends and family or just get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, that's not happening if you have a side hustle. That's not happening if you're really trying to work and improve your life. People have this crazy concept that CEOs don't work. That, the people at the top don't work. They just go to luxurious restaurants and things like that. Now, the reality is, well, of course you can find CEOs and department heads and things like that who do not work a lot. But that's because their company is functioning very well because of the decisions they made. At some point, every CEO has worked a lot. A lot of CEOs have still good companies, and yet they work roughly 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. That your boss going to this restaurant and eating with someone is probably work. Yeah, they're going to a restaurant and eating, but they're not exactly, just out and about doing things that they want. It's still work. They're talking about work. They're thinking about work. Don't get it twisted.
It's a lot, and us humans were not meant to be this switched on all the time. So to keep you on your grind and to help you feel a little bit less overwhelmed by everything that you need to do, there is a new movement of pseudo self-help gurus.
Oh.
These people promise to teach you simple
Dude, how money works? That was a killer sponsor time point, okay? Best sponsor time insert point ever possible.
tricks that conveniently fit into seminars, books, or 15-minute YouTube videos that will help you to better organize your life, stay motivated, and achieve your goals, even if your goal is not having to work 2 jobs.
This is essentially just the self-improvement rabbit hole. The reality of self-improvement is, people watch a video about self-improvement, they read a book about self-improvement, and what do? Well, they do none of that shit, obviously. But you know what they do? They go and watch the next video or read the next book about self-improvement. Because thinking about self-improvement makes you feel good about yourself. Doing actual self-improvement doesn't. That's the kicker here. That's the self-improvement rabbit hole also.
It sounds helpful, or at the very least, harmless. But following this advice could put you further behind for 4 reasons. The first reason is that it just doesn't work.
Yep.
Productivity brands and influencers have the opposite problem to finfluencers, another group that promises to fix your finances instead of everything else in your life. Good personal finance should be boring and simple. Save diligently, avoid high-interest debt, maximize your income, and
avoid debt at all. The reality is, people don't need that. Okay? You don't need to borrow money. You just need to be responsible with your money, and then you don't need to borrow money. Borrowing money is the fastest way to get poor or never become anything but poor. That is reality. Now, admittedly, yes, there are definitely cases when borrowing in low interest is good and smart, but 8 out of 10 times I would say that that's never happening to most people ever.
And invest responsibly for long-term goals. It's so simple that everything you need to know about personal finance can fit on a post-it note, and people have done it. That's a problem for personal finance influencers, because they make a lot of money by posting weekly content and can't keep saying the same thing every week, so they end up making...
They can, and they do. I don't watch these people, but I have a strong suspicion they recycle the same shit week after week after week after week and just, spray a different title for the video. I have a real suspicion that that's what's happening.
Making uninformed predictions or telling financial success stories that were more
the hero
product of luck than diligent financial planning. But we have already talked enough about these guys before. Productivity influencers have the opposite problem. There is just too much to talk about, and without knowing each and every one of their viewer situations, they can't come up with good suggestions. And uninformed advice is the same thing as bad advice. A report by Psychology Today.
How Elon Musk gets things done? Considering we have looked into Elon Musk, I'll give you the I'll give you the secret how Elon Musk gets things done. He just hires competent people. He just hires really competent people because he is able to recognize competent people.
Bad advice. A report by Psychology Today found that so-called toxic productivity is one of the leading causes of diagnosed anxiety and depression. A strong focus on productivity also produces worse outcomes for everyone. A report by the Harvard Business Review studied employees who were fired for bad workplace behavior. The study found that a large share of those terminated employees were high performers in their roles, but brought down everybody that worked with them. A strong belief in their own abilities.
Oof. I never got fired because of this, and I enjoyed making people suffer. You know why? Because those people, I can already tell you what's the deal with these people. They're stupid. You know why they're stupid? Because if you have a high performance, that doesn't mean anything. I had actually a lower performance than a lot of people, and intentionally. You know what's the secret to surviving? It's making yourself look important. If there's something you can do in an hour, while the other person takes 2 days to finish, you're not finishing that in an hour. You're telling your boss how excruciatingly hard it's gonna be, but you can do it in a day. If your boss doesn't know what you need to do to accomplish those things, congratulations. You are an extremely valuable employee because you can do something that everyone else struggles with that is hard because you said it's hard. Because by doing something that the average doing something in 1 hour that the average person does in 2 days, you're not proving that you are good. You're just proving that the task is ridiculously simple, and you're not good because you're not. The task suddenly is not hard and complicated. The task is easy and mundane if you can do it in an hour. So, if you want to be good at this and be an asshole to everyone, literally, call people shit and never get fired, never get even reprimanded, you need to make sure that people know that you are absolutely the best, even though that's a lie. Simple, really.
Everybody that worked with them. A strong belief in their own abilities, a strict adherence to their own routines, and a high expectation for everybody around them made them worse at delivering good.
Never have a high expectation about everyone around you. That's the easiest way to get fucked.
Results for the business. The researchers found that a worker that had an intense focus on their own productivity might return $5,303 in cost savings to a company through increased output. Avoiding a toxic hire will net an estimated $12,489 because they collaborate more easily with coworkers and clients are less resistant to changes.
True. True. I have no idea about these studies, but I have said this a million times. You can be twice or 3 times better than the opposition in a hiring situation, and you're never getting that job as long as your personality's shit. The person who, as long as it's not a huge detriment that the other person is 5 times worse at their job than you, as long as that's not going to be like a distinctive huge minus that's going to be visible every single day, you're never going to get hired without social skills. And again, the previous thing I said, it's all social skills. It's not actually knowledge. Your bullies from school who were popular, who treated you like trash, they're going to still be your bosses when you grow up. Because you, the person with 0 social skills, but with all 10s in every subject and finishing university with astonishing achievements, are still less valuable to a company than someone who can just work in a team properly. In fact, this goes so far that some of the smartest places where you can find work, some of the most demanding companies, have actual tests that they give to potential new employees, where, this is the kicker, where if you go into that company and they give you this test to solve this, like, I don't know, some kind of Einsteinian equation or something like that, if you can solve it even halfway through, you're never going to get hired, because that automatically means that your social skills are probably way below needed. And if there is any reason to, if that company has ever any reason to ever work in teams, you're just not getting hired. Ain't life grand? Ain't life grand?
Is in the organization. An extreme focus on productivity in your personal life can also simply make you less productive, as you spend all your time and effort hyper-optimizing every task in your life instead of just getting them done in a way that works for you. Despite the crazy amount of harm this can do, there are 3 terrible reasons why the cult of productivity isn't going anywhere. So it's time to learn how money works to find out why trying to become more productive is only going to make things worse. This week's lesson was sponsored by Brilliant. Let's face it, paying money for people to tell you to be productive is a waste of your money. So,
by the way, that is the most ironic sponsor ever, because Brilliant is going to work exactly on the same principle that he's going to talk about, the self-production improvement rabbit hole. Because it's all about making yourself feel better while not actually putting in any work. And Brilliant, by the way, is literally based off of that. It gives you child level, things to solve, and it pats you on the head every time you do it. And most of the time, that does not give you any real world benefits. Well, sometimes it does, probably, but most of the time, it just doesn't. It's just like, you did good, pat yourself on the back, oh, you're such a smart boy, and that's it. That's the whole idea that Brilliant is literally based on.
Strong passwords. By committing 10 to 20 minutes a day on Brilliant, you can pick up a ton of new...
See? 10 to 20 minutes a day. That if you have ever tried to actually do something in life, you know that 10 to 20 minutes is not gonna cut it.
Knowledge easily from the flexible...
The most ironic sponsorship in the world.
Tablet, or it's weird. Usually
Nice.
I used to avoid that stuff, but Brilliant a new into.
But anyway, if you want to be a tool and you want to use Brilliant, go click my description. Go click the video on how money works description, and just try out Brilliant. Feel good about yourself, or hire a prostitute to talk to you on the phone 5 minutes a day and call you awesome. Same effect.
Since you've come here to learn, I know you'll love Brilliant. To get Brilliant for free for 30 days, go to brilliant.org/link in the will get of hours Americans work has gone down over the decades according to the OECD. But at the same time, people report having less time to themselves, and there are 3 reasons for this.
Emails.
Technology has made our work easier,
Emails.
but it has also made it easier to be at work. A 2017 Gallup survey of 15,000 American workers found that 43% of people spent at least some of their personal time working remotely. No follow-up studies have been done. But that figure is likely to rise with the mass adoption of work from home from 2020 until lately. Employers are also...
I almost never did that. I very rarely did that. I never also worked a single minute into any of my lunch breaks. Never. Absolutely never. The moment you start working in your lunch breaks, by the way, people are constantly just going to ask you to work in your lunch breaks. The moment you start working from home, that just means two things. One, you can't keep up with the workload, which means you're bad. And again, if you have paid attention, everything I have been talking about so far is about creating the illusion that you are at least extremely competent, because that's the smart way to do it, okay? But, being also really competent helps. Because the reality is, at high positions, people are gonna be easily able to tell that you're stupid just from the way that you talk. If you do not ask the right questions, or understand the right things that need to be said and asked in certain situations, people are gonna look at you and be like, yeah, he doesn't know what's happening, huh? It's, by the way, I can't even give a good example of this, but I guess you just need to experience it to understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's crazy.
Demanding more unpaid overtime for non-hourly workers. And these requests are often coming at odd times, reducing the amount of quality, uninterrupted free time where workers are allowed to totally disconnect from their job. The psychologist Adam Alter said that if you carry around a phone that your boss or team can message or call you on at any time, you probably haven't had real free time to yourself for years. The second reason is that people who work are working less, but more people are working. A stay-at-home partner who takes care of chores, children, and other tasks is now a luxury that most people can't afford. A growing number of people are also remaining single for longer, so people have to do their jobs and their chores when they get home without the help they would have gotten in the past from more traditional family units. The third reason is simply that there are more distractions. When was the last time you felt bored? Probably a long time ago, right? Because today, right there in your pocket, is a phone that gives you access to games, messages, and apps that are literally designed from the ground up to give you dopamine on demand and are hyper-optimized to keep your attention.
Yep.
Companies and people pushing the #hustle mindset have undoubtedly created these problems, and they are also cashing in on the opportunity to sell you the solution. And that's the third reason why the cult of toxic productivity...
Oh, and by the way, if anyone asks you how do your team play it or any of this garbage, you answer yes. You just straight out blatantly lie.
...has grown so large. It's too profitable. According to Precision Reports, a market research firm, the global market for productivity apps was worth $9.42 billion in 2022 and is expected to grow by 9.2% per year until 2028.
That's a lot.
In addition to this market, there are also people selling books, courses, consultations, and tutorials on avoiding the world's distractions and squeezing the most out of your day. It's a big market for one simple reason. People who have decided that they want to be more productive are high-intent customers. And they are willing to spend a lot of money on a good solution because they think of it as an investment rather than a purchase. If someone could give you an app or a course that would let you focus for longer and build out a side business that doubled your monthly income, of course you would pay a lot for that.
Yep.
People seeking out ways to maximize their productivity are also on average wealthier, as people who are into self-improvement and are short on time often are. This means that people can make millions of dollars very quickly if they can amass an audience and convince them that they have the secret to maximizing productivity. I am going to stop short of calling these a get-rich-quick scheme style grift, because I do...
They aren't. They aren't. By the way, I knew that he's going to talk about something similar to this. You see, the crazy thing, a lot of these get-rich-quick schemes, a lot of these... become good at something quick type of things. Some of them really do work. That's the crazy part. They work. But no one does them. No one tries them. I can guarantee you, there's currently a handful of literal billionaires on Twitter that have 200 followers that have written out literally step-by-step instructions how they would start a business with zero money in the current day with the current everything and make themselves rich. and that they have more comments than anything of people just calling them stupid. I can guarantee you there is at least a handful of real billionaires who have just done that. Because the reality is, even if it's good advice, no one's following it. Okay? No one is following. One of the greatest examples of this is Mr. Beast. He ironically has just put online how he makes videos and what he thinks that, what kind of formula does he follow to try and make these videos successful. Blatantly, without anything missing, word for word, and multiple videos like this. And guess how many people can do this? None. Almost no one uses it. Almost no one does this, even though there's so many people who want to get big on YouTube. Okay? It's crazy. And they want to do even the exact same thing Mr. Beast is doing. That's probably the greatest and craziest example of this. It doesn't even need to be honestly a scheme. And also, it's very skewed what people nowadays think is a scheme. Because I remember when Andrew Tate first became really popular on the internet, and I heard about the Hustlers University or something like... Yeah, it was Hustlers University. Like 1.0 or whatever. And I remember some big YouTuber did a thing there. And he was like, okay, I bought this course so you don't have to type a video. And he said, well, I went into this Hustlers University. I paid like $50. And I spent in total like $400. And I learned ways that gave me, an extra $100 a month. Simple steps that could be done. And, he said, okay, I did these things and I did make $100 a month. And guess what? People call that shit. He called it shit. Everyone in his audience called it shit. And people called it a scam. The reality is, this is the craziest part. The reality is, if you're spending $500 or $200 on some kind of course, and it teaches you unironically how to make $100 each month, without too great of an investment, or just by doing something for 10 minutes a day, that is phenomenal return. That is actually unironically one of the greatest returns on investment that you can have. It's crazy how actually good that is. But since it's not millions every single day without, putting any effort in, people are going to call that a scam. And that's crazy. And there's nothing you can do about it. People are going to think that's a scam. But in reality, if you spend $200 and it teaches you how to make $100, by inputting just 10 minutes of your time every day, and then you get $100 per month extra, that's a steal. That's actually so unbelievably good. But since it's not make millions, no one cares. Dude.
You believe that the most popular personalities in the space like Ali Abdaal, Alex Hormozi, and even Gary Vee really do
I have no idea who these are, but I think I have seen at least this face.
Have good intentions.
I think I have also heard the name, but I have no idea who these people even are.
With their audience, and they don't intend any harm.
Ty Lopez, that guy I do know. Look at that, it's our boy Ty Lopez. Dude, Ty Lopez though is a blatant artist of the not so good kind. Don't sue me, Ty. Don't sue me, Ty.
Don't care as much and just want to get you to buy their course by any means necessary. But even these good guys still have something to sell you. It's a classic strategy of, hey, look at me.
I don't know how I feel about how money works calling Ty Lopez a good guy. I really don't.
I am rich and successful, and you could be too, if you do this thing that I am selling. A video about how someone made $10 million a year and a breakdown of their revenue sources might genuinely be made with the best of intentions of transparency, but it also serves as a demonstration of how well their advice has worked for them and how it could work for you too. In the interest of my own transparency, I have made the same kind of video because I thought it was interesting and I thought it would get views, but I don't have a course on how to run
YouTube what are broken? YouTube months. Oh, your estimated earnings minus 10k. How do you even? That must be clickbait, right? I don't even know that's possible. Because if you buy ad time, maybe this has changed. But if you buy ad time for your videos on YouTube, well, the reality is it just straight up takes it away from your bank account, not your actual revenue.
Views. But I don't have a course on how to run multiple businesses or get big on YouTube. Some of these tools these people and companies are selling are totally free, but some can cost thousands of dollars. And with an audience that is so intent on changing their life for the better, it's not unusual for people to take on credit card debt to attend a mindset conference or buy a course that they think will change their life. Now, if you pick up some tricks that help you stay on top of your meetings or just feel less stressed about your...
Wait, what was that? Let's actually read this, because I think this is from a different video. Wednesday, write 4 scripts, read boring contract, record podcast with Matt. Oh, no, this is just some kind of stock footage.
Top of your meetings or just feel less stressed about your everyday chores, that's great. And if that's worth investing some money, go ahead. But there aren't millions of people watching this with the goal of minor improvements. People are expecting something much bigger that simply can't be bought. Working out how to stay focused for every hour of the day is probably not going to radically change your life. In my career as an investment banker, I got to work directly with hundreds of very successful company founders that were raising hundreds of millions of dollars for their businesses. All of them were very busy people, but none of them tried to optimize every hour of the working day or work 100-hour weeks to make their business a success. It's also not fair to even compare.
This is true. This kind of slightly goes against what I said, but no, they do work a lot, but they don't optimize their days, because you can't optimize your days. If you're responsible for, I don't know, like if you're Bill Gates, there's constantly going to be something happening in your day that's just different, that you did not expect. So you can't really optimize your full day for everything, and no one does it because it's honestly stupid.
Regular people to highly successful business people either, because they often have assistants and other staff to take care of them, so even if they are spending long hours in the office, they have everything else in their life taken care of. And that's the third reason why falling into the productivity rabbit...
I mean, that's what money, by the way, literally does. you buy those things if you can, because that's what money's supposed to do.
...hole can leave you much worse off in the long run, which is that you are probably wasting your time. This works in 2 ways, so let's call them reason 3A and reason 3B. The first way this will end up wasting your time is that after setting up calendars...
Is this a reference for something?
...reminders, journals, meditation sessions, attending seminars, and watching productivity content, you have probably wasted more time than you will ever save with a simple plan that you work out as you go along. Reason 3B is a little bit more interesting though. Being productive is not the same as being busy. But if you're focused on not wasting any of your time, you are more likely to...
Being productive is not the same as being busy. I like that. Yeah, that's a good saying.
...divert your attention to things that aren't going to do you any good. A survey conducted by 1,989 office workers in the United Kingdom found that the average person was on task for just 2 hours and 53 minutes a day. Trying to optimize that time to get more done in a day is only going to result in you being given more work to do, which is great for the company you work for, but doesn't help you much. Strong performance is important for career progression, but being the guy that does the work of 3 normal coworkers isn't the right way to show you're the right person for a promotion.
Also, that doesn't... Oh, he's gonna... Okay.
Being too good at your job is also one of the leading reasons that managers have given for not promoting staff because they will be too hard to replace.
Yep. How many times have I said this exact same thing? Dude, How Money Works is getting better. I stopped watching How Money Works because some of the content was just stupid. But this is something I agree. This is something I have said a million times. Being the best in your workplace is not going to get you promoted. Because exactly as he says, why would you promote your best worker to a position that he potentially can't even do properly? And then you need to most likely at some point maybe demote him, and then he's going to be pissed and then he's going to go away. And then you need to find 2 new workers. When you can promote someone else who has better qualifications for the promotion, and you still have your best talent still working for you. Like, from a business perspective, that makes no sense. I'm surprised at how money works is actually getting here. Because while I do not doubt that he has a lot of skills in certain aspects, if he was an investment banker, as he said, the reality is that means he most likely grew up in a rich family. He is missing very fundamental things that would allow him to understand businesses as businesses. Sure, he has experience in that case, like talking to companies and doing all sorts of things like that, but that's in reality kind of like worthless knowledge and information in a lot of cases for, no, I'm not going to even say us, but, for even the people slightly down under. Because, for example, going to school and finishing and understanding stocks is not the same as understanding businesses. It's the same way that this right here situation is that, being an investment banker doesn't actually, is not actually you understanding businesses and how they function. You understand specific parts of businesses because that's what you need for it. So there's huge differences. And a lot of people don't understand it. That there's significant difference in that. One role cannot just... An investment banker that works with companies is not going to be an expert in, for example, stock trading and stock investments. Like Wall Street type of this stuff. It's just not the same. People don't understand this a lot.
Even if you are...
But yeah, how money works? Wow, just from this video, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. It's like, holy crap, the quality of this video is so better than anything I remember that he has ever done. Like, top of the morning to you. Like, my hat, good sir. You actually, wow, good.
Are a business owner and you do financially benefit directly from every additional bit of work you get done, the mindset that a lot of productivity gurus preach is not going to make your business sustainable or scalable. The cult of productivity is weirdly split on this. Some people advocate working 100 weeks until you are a billionaire, and only then are you worthy of a day off. And some argue that if you are getting paid based on how many hours you work, you are a loser that can't properly delegate. There is no single right way to...
That's kind of strange, but okay.
...run a business, and owners usually do work more hours than their employees, but nobody can produce...
Actual knowledge of things how happen in the real life. Look at that. I constantly complain about this in these types of videos, but there we go. This is actually saying something that makes me think, wow, he knows what he's talking about.
Produce good quality work 100 hours every week, and not every business owner can or wants to delegate their jobs to a team. Taking us back to the problem of specific advice.
Remember when Elon Musk took over Twitter and people were complaining, he wants to micromanage us! He wants to actually look into each department and look at how it works! That's not how you're supposed to do companies! You're supposed to sit on top and then someone every week gives you a report on how things... Dude, that was so... Dude. The amount of stupidity that went on the internet when Elon Musk was taking over Twitter, business-wise, was just through the roof. I miss those days. I had great laughs.
For a broad audience. If it wasn't clear by now, it's okay to not be productive. Comparing yourself to people online who are outstandingly lucky or simply make it their career to talk about how organized they are is not going to do anything good for you. If you don't really care about how much more money you can make your employer, then take it easy and watch this video.
Okay, we're not watching that video. But yeah, that was how money works. A redemption story, I may even say. Pretty good. Wow, this was a great video, honestly. Did not expect that. But anyway, this was Quizzer Sense, and thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.